Okay, so another great example before you guys take your quiz on comparing two different normal distribution problems and z-scores is right here. So the best male long jumpers for State College since 1973 have averaged a jump of 263 inches with a standard deviation of 14. So the first thing I'm going to put here is this is a normal distribution for male long jumpers. And we have 263 with a standard deviation of 14. Okay. The best female, so I'm going to have normal distributions for females here too, is we have 201.2 and a standard deviation of 7.7. Smaller spread for females than males. This year, Joey jumped 275 inches and his sister jumped 207. Both are State College students. Assume that male and female jumps are normally distributed. Within their age group, which one did better? So this is a very, very good question to compare two distributions. So I'm going to start with Joey. So in this case, Joey, I'm going to draw this with the normal distribution, and 263 is my mean. Joey jumped 275 inches, so that is above the average, like somewhere up here somewhere. 275, okay, 275. I'm going to calculate a z-score in a second, but I want to figure that out. I'm also going to look at, just for the purposes of giving you guys a little more review, I'm going to look at what percentile he's in, which means the area to the left. Like what percentile his jumps were compared to everybody else. Okay, then we have Carla. Carla, her distribution would obviously look different. Her mean, their center is at 201 for females, 0.2 inches. And Carla jumped 207. Again, she's above the mean somewhere. She's above the mean somewhere, 207. Okay, 207. Okay, so I, again, will look at the percentile for her as well. So I'm going to shade down here just so that we can do that and get some practice with normal distributions. I actually wouldn't have to in order to answer this question. All I would have to do is figure out the z-scores for this question, which is what I'm going to do now. So I've done step 1 of drawing the table. I've done step 2 of shading it, and now I'm going to go on to the z-score. So for the z-score, I have Joey, and I'm going to put a J there so that I know I'm calculating his. I am going to take his score of 275 minus 263 over a standard deviation of 14 for male jumpers. This is his relationship to the mean, and then divided by 14. This is going to tell me how many standard deviations away Joey is from the mean. So 275 minus 263 is going to give us 12 divided by 14. We get 0.86 standard deviations away when I round it. Okay, so I'm going to put it approximately 0.86 standard deviations away. It means not quite a full standard deviation away. I'm now going to do the z-score for Carla. I'm going to come down here just to make it bold for you guys. For Carla, Carla jumped 207 inches, and compared to her mean of 201.2, that's her distance from the mean, but now I'm going to divide by the standard deviation to figure out how many standard deviations away from the mean she is. So I take 207 minus 201.2, and I divide it by 201.2, I hit enter, very important, and then I'm going to divide by 7.7, and she is at 0.75. What that means is that her brother outperformed her. Her brother outperformed her. He had a higher z-score, so in this case, he actually jumped further from the mean, which in this would mean that he did better. Now, equating that to percentiles, I'm going to go to the percentile to figure out what percentile their jumps were in. So I'm going to go to the z-table. I'm on the positive side of the z-table. So we're on the positive side. He had a positive z-score of 0.86. So 0.8 is right here. 0.86, I would follow it all the way over to right there. He was in the 0.8051. 0.8051. 0.8051. That's always the area to the left, which means he's in the 81st percentile. Okay, 81st percentile, which is great. That means he jumped as well as or better than 81% of people. So now looking at Carla, she's at 0.75. 0.75 is right there. So she's in the 0.7734. 0.7734, that's the area to the left, which is what I'm looking at. That's what percentile is. She is in the 77th percentile, okay, for females. So again, he scored a little higher, but she scored as well as or better than 77% of people that were jumping with her. So she, for females, I should say. So that right there is how we do one of those problems and z-scores and look them up. Hopefully that was helpful before you start your quiz.